Hello, Malty, mucho, Maltopia, muchachas. Hey, great malt mention. And thank you to Yarta World for providing the malt mention, introducing Ralphie Review 905 Extras. Because that's what we're about here, giving you extra information. And I've just reviewed 18-year-old Glencadam. In my opinion, a very good value, very good quality single malt. I highly recommend it. It came, by the way, without a carton from the retailer because the carton got damaged. Does it bother me? No, because I'm a drinker, not a collector when it comes to these types of whiskies. I don't need the carton. But with my other purchases recently, I have received a carton, which is fine. They're not needed, they're not necessary, but in this extras, I'm going to show you 3 whiskies that I bought for a second time in 2021, and the reason I bought them, very simple, to add to my stash. They're that good that I just want to put them into the archive. These are bottles, bring round the bag, look at that, there we go. This is my bag. Fill me up with lovely things again and again. Okay, I've got the message. That's not a problem. The first of the whiskies that I have bought again in 2021 is Isle of Arran 10-year-old. Ralphie's Whisky of the Year. Winner of the Best Single Malt at the Online Scotch Whisky Awards 2021. You'll find the link down below in the description box. Go check out the website. Full of absolute 5-star gold standard whisky pointer information. Simples. I've bought this again. Why not? It's not expensive. You can't go wrong. Sometime in the future I'll open a bottle of 10-year-old Arran. And I'll think to myself, do you know, I'd like to compare this to one that I bought 10 years ago. And I'll bring this one out. And I bet you that in 10 years' time, whiskey is going to be far more expensive. So if you stick the receipt in the box, or around the label, with a piece of string to hold it and stop it getting lost, you can have a good laugh seeing how reasonable whiskey was back in the old days. Second choice, buying it again, Bunnahabhain, 12-year-old. Great whiskey. Some bad batches a few years ago. People were commenting on it, but there's been a run of good batches recently, and it's concluded with the recent release of a Bunnahabhain 12-year-old cask strength. Maltmates, I've not even tried it yet, but what I'm hearing in terms of feedback is very positive. Bear in mind, I'm giving you priceless information here. When a distillery brings out a new version of their whisky, the first batch is the ambassador batch that sets the tone for its reputation and sellability. Just saying. And thirdly, Glencadam 10-year-old. This is a rising star in the Scotch whisky firmament. Very reasonably priced, widely available, and delightfully a cloudy bottle of whisky. Look at the cloudiness in that. You can hardly see my face through the bottle. It actually looks cloudy in the bottle because it's unchill filtered. All these whiskies are unchill filtered. All these whiskies are natural colour. All these whiskies, all 3 of them, are affordable, available, integrity single malts, which have featured in the OSWIS, the Online Scotch Whisky Awards. You see, as a co-founder of the awards, I'm backing up. You know, I buy what features in the awards with my own money. And I want to conclude here, having introduced these 3 second buys. Because bear in mind, when I'm reviewing the whisky, I'm always looking for another whisky I've not tried for quite a long time. So it's not often the case where literally within a month of buying a whisky, I want to go back and buy another bottle just to put in the stash. But I'm going to put it to you this way. Spirits are unique. Absolutely unique for one particular thing. Think about it. Food items have an expiry date on the label, whether it be a ready meal, bag of flour, tin of soup, frozen pizza, block of butter, packet of eggs. They have an expiry date stamped on them because all these commodities expire. Particularly fresh fruit and vegetables, if they're properly fresh. You get a couple of days and then they'll start to go off. But let me ask you this. Have you ever come across a bottle of spirits with an expiry date on it? Neither have I. Because spirits do not have an expiry date. You could take any of these bottles, any bottle of spirits, doesn't matter what, rum, rye, cognac, bourbon, whiskey, and many bottles of wine, most bottles of port, sherry, Madeira. Because of the ethanol alcohol content, they have incredibly long lives, particularly when they're stored properly upright, unless it's wine. But for whiskey, for spirits, upright, in a cool place, as cool as you can get it, away from sunlight, undisturbed. This is the thing about a stash. You are setting up a library of flavours for the rest of your life, and if you've got children, for the rest of their lives too. And if you've got grandchildren, for the rest of their lives, and great-great-grandchildren. Yeah. If they don't want to open it, they're a bit concerned, they can take that bottle of whiskey from great-grandmother or great-grandfather and they can put it into auction and get a very handsome return for it. I'm providing you this information because you really don't get it anywhere else. It's why you watch Ralphie.com, and thank you very much for your company. I hope this has got your old grey cells going, got you thinking about the benefits of having a stash. In other words, a drinker's collection. With the occasional sale now and again, but not that often. I'm Ralphie. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this extras. And if you have, click subscribe, click like, have a look at my books which are for sale on Amazon and in other major bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, Waterstones, depending where you are, you've got different bookstores. Just look Ralphie Whiskey Book, you'll find my books, and they're good value and make a great gift for this time of year. And yes, I'm ruthlessly plugging my books, hey, because I've spent time writing them, and thanks to everybody for the 5-star ratings, and everybody who's enjoyed reading my books. It really motivates me, encourages to write my next one, which, like bottles of whiskey, books, there's no sell by date. Have you ever noticed that? It's not just whiskey.